Hello, this is Dr. Paul Cottrell, and I'm recording this on 5/7/2026 at 1:26 p.m. Now, it is important to understand that the hantavirus outbreak that's on the ship has a very low probability of being a pandemic. Very low. But there has been research that's been published. This research right here was published approximately in 2023 about the Andes virus, which is the hantavirus that's human to human transmission. So they found that the actual virus RNA is persistent in patients. So let me just read the abstract so you get an understanding here. But it was persistent, and they found it being persistent in human semen. Now, why am I going down this road here? It's important to understand that there was gain of function research with SIV that led to their understanding of the chaperoning of certain proteins to the surface of the cell as the virus is packaging. All right, so I'm doing a mosaic study here of what is going on with the hantavirus, especially with Andes. So there is this connection to a persistence, and the virus is not fully clearing. All right, with that, let's begin with just the abstract. When infecting humans, Andes arthro hantavirus, or the Andes virus, I'll call it, may cause a severe disease called hantavirus cardiopulmonary syndrome. We talked about this in a previous video. This is the HCPS. Now, HCPS is one version of it. Another is the hemorrhagic version that affects the kidneys. Following nonspecific symptoms, the infection may progress to a syndrome of hemorrhagic fever combined with a hyperacute cardiopulmonary failure. The case fatality rate ranges from 25 to 40% depending on the outbreak. In this study, we present the follow-up of a male patient who recovered from HCPS in 6 years ago. We demonstrate that the Andes virus genome persists within the reproductive tract for at least 71 months. Genome sequence analysis early and late after the infection reveals a low number of mutations, 2 single nucleotide variants, and 1 deletion, suggesting limited replication activity. The reason being is because of the replicase of the genome for viruses, there's no proofreading of that replication. So there are mutations. So if you have high replication rate, you have a higher mutation rate. If you have low replication rate, you have less mutation rate because there's no proofreading mechanism for viruses. See, when we replicate our DNA, we have these proofreading mechanisms that come in and correct. Okay, so suggesting limited replication activity. We can exclude the integration of the viral genome into the host genome since the treatment of the specimen with RNase led to a loss of signal. We demonstrate a long-lasting, strong neutralizing antibody response using pseudovirons expressing the Andes virus glycoprotein. Taken together, our results show that the Andes virus has the potential of sexual transmission. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is I'm very concerned because they used SIV as a vector to modify the genome for hantavirus. So there's a concern here. Now, in terms of will there be a pandemic with hantavirus? No, there's not going to be a pandemic. But you can understand that if it can be passed sexually or through close contact over a decent duration, then you can see why it's endemic, especially in South America. But because it doesn't transmit very well between people over, let's say, a 6-foot distance or 12-foot distance, then the outbreak will eventually diminish, go silent, and there'll be another outbreak later down the road. So it dies off quickly, and then it comes, and then the outbreak may happen again. So it becomes endemic. And part of that endemic isn't just the distance to transmit through the pulmonary system, but it's also there is a sexual transmission mechanism that's tied to hantavirus and Andes. So I think this is an important data point to pay attention to. Please help support the work that I do by subscribing to all my channels. I have Brighteon, Bitchute, and Rumble. If you like the content that I provide, please help support monetarily by donating on my website, the-studio-reykjavik.com. You can donate through Stripe, PayPal, or buy me a coffee. You can also be a paid member to my Patreon channel. I do all these videos for free. It takes a lot of my time to do these videos, so please help support the work that I do and take a look at my website. It has very high quality products. So please go to my store, the-studio-reykjavik.com. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.